For more, visit red5.bio.link. Good morning. I am so annoyed that it just mutes it automatically. It's such a huge pain in my butt, and I'm way too OCD to have that kind of nonsense. Like, I've already emailed them about it, one stream that is, hoping we can find a solution for this nonsense. But never mind that, guys. Never mind, because it's Friday. It's Friday. Friday. Gotta get, it's not good vibes with this song, is it? Hello. Good morning. Got your coffee? I've got my coffee. Let's say hello to everyone in the chat. We've got Fernando. What's Fernando? Hello. Good morning. Maria, good morning. Good morning. I'm so excited that you've been joining us these mornings. Music City Soul. What is up? What is up? What is up? What is up? And I'm trying to get to this thing fast enough. There we go. Almost didn't get to it fast enough. Oh well. Music City Soul, what's up? We're going to dig into that. Dreaming Tabitha, what is up, my dear friend? Just love you to death. I was thinking about you this morning, like, I want to send her a present. Did I just put makeup in my hair? I think I did. Yay. No, it's a hairpin. Yep, there we go. I've become one of those cartoon ladies that you just shake her head and the hairpins fall out. But I was thinking I want to send you something nice because you've been so good to me. And I feel like it's unfair. Good morning, Star Wars Non-Toxic Alliance. Hello, Penny, Starbucks, and Knitting. You and my 16-year-old daughter would be good friends. You would. Blue collar guy. I always get that backwards. I'm here, but I need an adult. We all need adults. Now that we know that they're not actually boning in movies. Kano, my friend. I'm so excited. I hope you stick around today. I love it when you're in the chat. Okay. Yeah, I know. I have so many questions. Did RDJ actually die in Endgame? Did he really die? We need to know. Did he die or was it just acting? We got a lot of stuff to get into today because part of Fridays, I'm now making a thing that we cover all the stuff that I forgot to cover earlier in the week. Because what I do is I'll screen cap things and links, copy links, and I'll email them to myself. Well, I have 50,000 email addresses, and apparently a few things accidentally get sent to the wrong email. Out of sight, out of mind. There it goes. All right, guys, before we dig in, make sure you know the drill. Hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, and ring the notification bell so you get notified whenever I'm back with even more hot, nerdy tea. Okay, sounds like nerdity. It's a new word now. That's a new word. I'm going to use it like Tabitha called me the nerdalist once, and I saved that for evers and evers. So I'm saving that as well. Okay, so first and foremost, I don't know if we talked about this or not, but I'm going to bring it on anyway. And this is Marvel news with 2 Z's, so pinch of salt. Very small grain of salt. Marvel Studios reportedly developing a highly anticipated Hulk versus Wolverine movie. I think we did talk about this. I think we did. Listen, I'm getting old. All right. The hormones are changing and it gives us brain fog. We forget things. But I don't know if we really got all that into it. It makes sense that they would do it with the popularity and the success of Deadpool Wolverine, seeing Hugh Jackman back in this time in the accurate suit. This is him in the John Byrne suit with Hulk, who we did see a reflection of him in the claws here. So it would make sense. Yep. We talked about it. All right, we're going to move on. What else we got? Did we talk about the pre-sales? I think we did. Did we talk about this? Did we talk about a Bane and Deathstroke film? Maybe that's who Josh Brolin's playing. Maybe he's really playing Deathstroke. Maybe. That's possible. All right. Here's one of our biggies. It's not letting me zoom in for some weird reason. Strange. I wonder why. Is it because... Okay, here we go. So James Gunn tweeted this out. I mean, he put it out there on all his social media. And I got to laugh at this. I got to laugh. Because it says, thrilled to see cameras roll at Warner Brothers Studios, Leavesden, or I could read that a little better, couldn't I? Thrilled to see cameras roll at Warner Brothers Studios Leavesden on Supergirl with Craig Gillespie at the helm and the phenomenal Millie Alcock as our Kara Zor-El. Craig brings an incredible sensibility to this story, and Millie is every inch the unique Supergirl envisioned by Tom King, Bilquis Evely, and Ana Nogueira. This is our look at her. This is supposed to be our first look at Supergirl. And it's the back of her head. Can this really count as a first look? Does this really count as our first look at Supergirl? Love that shot of Supergirl. Looks almost like Spacebar from the book. Yeah, I still haven't read it. It's on my list. I'm reading Blue and Gold right now. But it does look like a space bar, and we all know James Gunn can do space bars. And FYI, I'm not live on TikTok today. I didn't want to fool with it. It's just obnoxious. It's just obnoxious. It's difficult to deal with. And honestly, I couldn't get my little broken tripod thing. Is it a duopod? Because the leg broke. I put it in like a cup or a thing of makeup brushes, and it wasn't working with me. So not today. Kino Review says, yes, they did Avengers chairs in costumes back in 2011, 2012. I don't remember that. That was a long time ago for me. But to me, it just looks like Millie Alcock as herself sitting in the chair. When I hear first look of a soup, I imagine them in their suit. But that's we don't see her face or really anything, just the fact that she does have long blonde hair. Looks like a spacey, well, at least a very colorful set. What else can we see? Really not much. Really not much. Just the back of her head. It's a very not much to see here first look. But I guess it does make us very anxious to see her in the suit. What do you guys think? Do you think this is a good first look? Do you think it's lame? Kino doesn't want to ruin the surprise in the new Superman movie, so there's that. Just not a fan of the S. I think Kino might be onto something, because we do know she's showing up in Superman. I think we all kind of anticipated that. Cautiously optimistic. Yes. I think that's how we should go into everything. Cautiously optimistic. I'm a fan of the Kingdom Come S myself. That's one of my favorite books. Music City Soul. I mean, those set photos will make their way to the internet soon. It will get spoiled. Now that is a possibility, but it's also a very big if. It's a very big if because as we know, I would say 99, I could confidently say 99% of leaks that make it to the internet, the studios have allowed that to happen. They've actually done it themselves or they've allowed it to happen because, pardon me, they're trying to drive up hype for a film. Now, it is my opinion that I think the more leaks you get, the more a studio leaks stuff out about a film, it's probably because they know they don't really have much, so they're trying to manufacture hype. They're trying to take control of the narrative, get ahead of it, so to speak. And with other films that you don't get, a whole bunch of leaks, they know they're onto something, so they're a lot more protective of it and they want to save all of that. So this could be good news. It could be good news. And technically, I guess it is a first look at Supergirl. Honestly, it could be anybody sitting there. We would have no idea. They could have just had like a makeup girl, like, hey, get similar hair, have a seat. We need to tease this out. These earbuds are bothering me today. It does say a lot about the vibe. Very colorful. And what I do know of the Tom King Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, it is a very, very colorful book. Lots of space. Lots of space. Lots of space. So, tell me what you guys think. Tell me what you think. I got a couple other things too. I'm trying to pull up. Anyone else having trouble with their bookmarks on Twitter? Like, I swear, I bookmark a lot of stuff, and when I go back, it's the wrong thing. Like, it's bookmarked the wrong thing. Just. Nope. That is Starfleet Command. That is absolutely not what I wanted. That's super weird. That's not exactly. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Okay, so you guys know. Oh, let's see. Let me check some comments. Music City Soul, very colorful. LOL. Very colorful. Lots of space, different planets, plenty of colors. I really need to read it. I'm very interested. Hey, Backyard TARDIS, what is up, my friend? Ooh, you should be getting your book soon. Very excited. Very excited for people to get their stuff. Okay. So next, I guess we can we'll bring this up. Because there was a rumor a while back. Daniel RPK was reporting on it that this was happening. It turns out it legit is. Robert Eggers set for Labyrinth sequel at TriStar. Do I need to tell you how I feel about this? Do I need to? I'm so tired of people playing with our toys. Loki! What's up, Loki? Is Wolf Tomorrow the book where Supergirl becomes drunk for some dumb reason? I don't know. I haven't read it yet. But I've heard it's actually really good. I've heard it's actually very good. Yes, Kino, I'm right there with you. Why? Why? I'm so over and done with people playing with our toys. Put the Gen X toys back. You're not very nice to them. You're not very nice to them. Yeah, there's no need for this. No need for this. Look, Robert Eggers is a good filmmaker for the types of films that he makes. They're very specific. He has a very specific style and texture to his films. And I just don't know if it's a good fit for Labyrinth. I like Northman. I like The Witch. What else of his? Like I said, Nosferatu. You guys know how I feel about that. Shocked it wasn't real sex still, but whatever. Kino says Bowie is long gone. Who are they going to replace him with? Bruno Mars? Bruno can be one of the goblins. He's short enough. Great a blue collar guy. Just no. Yeah, I don't see Robert as the right fit for this. His style. He's not. Do we really think that Robert Eggers can pull off a Jim Henson style film? And I think the answer is no. Loki says he's hot for the moment, so people are going to throw his name out there and see what sticks. Backyard TARDIS. It is very much like when you give your kid your beloved childhood toys and they go play with them in the mud. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Put the Gen X toys down. You are not nice to them. You're not very respectful. This is just, it's a choice. It's a very interesting choice. I honestly believe, and I've thrown this name out there before for options for DC movies, but maybe I'm just a big Sean Levy fan, but honestly, Sean Levy would be, or John Watts, either would be a far better choice for this than Robert Eggers. I mean, they have the right understanding of that kind of vibe, right? They are a lot more into the fun side, and that's what Labyrinth is. But enough about Star Wars. Just, especially John Watts. I mean, they know how to write those legacy characters in the tone that they need to have. Is David Bowie coming back? Boy, wouldn't that be a thing. Guess what? He's not dead, guys. Quentin Tarantino makes Labyrinth. You have my attention. I'm kind of over Quentin myself. And he's had some really stupid takes lately. These stupid takes. But yeah, I'm not exactly confident in his ability to do this film. It's going to be like so desaturated. It's going to make Snyder films look cheery and colorful. I don't get it. That's a dumb call. Creative blue collar guy says, anyone remember the park episode where the boys are trying to protect Raiders of the Lost Ark from being tampered with? We need to rise up and do that. Rise up and do that with any movie over 30 years old. Nerdling Army, mount up. Let's go. Let's go. Oh my goodness. What a mess. Hey, I'm so glad someone needs to agree with me. Someone needs to agree with me from time to time. All right. Now, this makes me sad because I was looking forward to this next thing. Backyard TARDIS. Maybe if the guys who did Skeleton Crew did Labyrinth could work, but it doesn't need to be made. That's what I'm saying. John Watts. John Watts did Skeleton Crew. And that's why he would be one of my picks. Like him or Sean Levy. If you watch The Adam Project with Ryan Reynolds and Scoble Walker on Walker Scoble, sorry about that. If you watch that movie on Netflix, you'll see why I think he would be really good at that. Yes. Yes, we're all on the same page. I'm very happy to hear that. Okay, so this next topic, I'm mad about this. I tried to avoid all of this stuff, but it got really hard to avoid it. Now, I'm using Rotten Tomatoes because it was the first thing that came up. I'll try to find something else, but I really don't like using Rotten Tomatoes as a metric. Ever since they got busted about a year and a half, 2 years ago, using Bunker 15 to pay critics to review how they wanted. That was, I think it was a year ago, maybe, ish. Not sure. Let's see, because I wanted to find the actual. This was something I tried to bookmark on Twitter, and here we go. And it didn't work out. So let's share this one. It didn't work out. I had to go Google it. All right. So Section 31 comes out today. Oh, Backyard TARDIS. I've watched Adam Project like 2 dozen. I might watch it again today. I watched it again. So this is the new Star Trek movie that has come out. Comes out today, and I've tried really hard to avoid things about it, but it became impossible. This movie is getting absolutely roasted by Star Trek fans. All of the Star Trek fans, not just the hardcore ones or whatever. Like, everyone is roasting this film, and that makes me really sad. Not just because we know someone who's in it, and he's just such a sweet, lovely person, and he absolutely loves what he does and loves getting to be a part of this universe, but because I love Star Trek. I love it. It's one of my all-time faves. It's the most unique sci-fi in the history of sci-fi, because it's the only one that's like, hey, we solved the problems. We solved those problems, built a utopian society, and now we're going to help others with their problems. But Section 31 is unique because it is the unit or section of Starfleet that deals with the timeline. If there are timeline issues. Timeline. There's no time to argue about time. We don't have the time. Fernando, it's a Trek revolt. It is. It is. So, Section 31 is this mysterious unit. You usually only see 1 or 2 of them per show. Per show. They show up for a couple standalone episodes, and they coerce a Starfleet captain or Starfleet officer, mostly captains, to helping them resolve a timeline issue. So the idea of an entire movie around this very mysterious, never elaborated on unit in Star Trek is very appealing to me. It's something that hasn't been done before. And that's always the avenue you should go when creating something new for a legacy franchise, that's been around for over 60 years. Keto, great. They're ripping off Disney Marvel with the TVA. Actually, the TVA would be ripping off Star Trek because Section 31's been around since the 80s, mid 80s. So here we go. This is pretty much the review across the board. This is what everyone is saying. Star Trek Section 31 is a unfortunate misfire. Our spoiler-free review. Oh, that makes me sad. Regular readers of our Star Trek reviews will know that we strike for a fair balance between praise and criticism, highlighting the things we love while still making sure to call out questionable writing and production choices, says TrekCore.com. Pardon me, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that on mic. And for the most part, your comments tell us that we've done a good job at that over the years. Keep in mind, as we report that Star Trek 31, Section 31 is a Kurtzman era's most spectacular mess. It's a movie with almost nothing to say, one that lacks joy, and most egregiously, it doesn't care at any point that it's a movie connected to the Star Trek franchise's rich history on nearly every level. Section 31 is a failure. Friday's full spoiler review is going to tell you more about why Section 31 is a bad movie overall. There is a long list of story points that Paramount Plus has embargoed from pre-release reviews. Wow. So for today's initial reflections, I want to focus specifically on why I think it's a poor representation of a Star Trek movie and a catastrophic misinterpretation of the otherwise noble goal to reinvent the franchise for the 21st century. Oh, freaking no. Man, listen, Linda. Terry Matalas pulled off a Hail Mary and reinvigorated this franchise and gave everyone, casual viewers, general audience, and diehard Trekkies, exactly what they wanted. He pulled off a miracle. And it was a lot of hard work, a lot of love, blood, sweat, and tears. You're telling me this movie made him just ruined that? Ah, poor Terry. Poor Terry. Oh, love it or hate it, but Alex Kurtzman's command of the Star Trek franchise has been an era of experimentation. Absolutely. No lie detected. While he has never fully articulated the point out loud, one can read between the lines, and Kurtzman's diagnosis of the Star Trek franchise's problems is clear. The fan base is aging and the numbers are beginning to decline. Not true. We may be growing up and getting older. Those numbers aren't declining, bro. We have children, and those children like Star Trek too. In fact, my oldest, Ashton, that's our thing. We go see Star Trek movies together. One time I went without him, and he has never forgiven me. He's 25 years old. If the franchise is to have a third generation of life and cultural relevance, it needs to try new things to appeal to a wider and younger audience. The signs of this theory are all over the franchise's recent decisions about what projects to greenlight, such as Star Trek Prodigy, aimed at young children, or Star Trek Starfleet Academy, targeted to young adults. And in that context, Section 31 feels like a no-brainer, capitalizing on the star power of Michelle Yeoh and shaking things up as the franchise takes a spin at an action-adventure spy movie in the vein of Guardians of the Galaxy or a sci-fi spinoff of Ocean's 11. But in this movie's attempt to put a different face on the Star Trek universe, it runs away from what's most important and fundamental about a good and successful Star Trek movie. It actually needs to be Star Trek. Oh my gosh. To me, there are two dimensions through which you can look at what constitutes the most successful Star Trek projects. That the project is contextualized with a rich narrative tapestry and that has been built up for over 60 years of storytelling, and that the project has something to say and a perspective on some element of life or humanity on both of those levels. Section 31 fails. This is a movie that does not care at all about the 6 decades of Star Trek canon. Fans were excited when it was announced that the movie would be set during the Lost era, the period of time between Star Trek VI, The Undiscovered Country, and Encounter at Farpoint. That's only been glimpsed a few times over the years, but why set it then when Section 31 makes absolutely no use of the time period in which it is set in? Wow. At no point does the movie attempt to care about the era in which it finds itself, and there are almost no visual clues that would even hint at the time period of this movie. Were it not for the inclusion of Casey Roll as young Rachel Garrett, who will later go on to captain the USS Enterprise C, the movie would actually work a lot better if it was set back during the Strange New Worlds time frame. There are almost no visual or story connections to the wider franchise beyond one or two classic Trek aliens in minuscule roles. And none of the starship or costuming hopes we've seen fans expect to see in the early 21st century, none, and none of the starship or costuming hopes. That's a weird way to say that. Hopes we've seen just throw that sentence out, bro. The movie is set far outside of Federation space and is content to just stay there. Which is not to say, of course, that Star Trek products, but then okay, this is a really long review to say that it sucks. So wow. Untamed Mando Star Trek? What is that? First time? Oh, the movie doesn't exist, and the most recent Star Trek movie was 765874. Fernando, I don't know about this new direction for Trek. I don't know either. What if we did only bad things, Alex? J.J. Abrams' disciple. Oh my gosh. See, Star Trek Picard Season 3 was absolutely brilliant. It was brilliant. It was amazing. It was well done. It was respectful. It was passionate. It's good. I like Strange New Worlds. There's only a couple things about it that I'm like, but I still like it. Star Trek Lower Decks was good. The last season wasn't their best. I wish they would have done better there, but I do like Lower Decks, and that was a really good way to pull people into the Star Trek universe. Backyard TARDIS. It's sad because I really like Michelle Yeoh. Yes, I love Michelle Yeoh. I love Star Trek. I love Star Trek. I love Section 31 stuff. I've always found it quite fascinating. Some other reviews, very brief ones. I'll just read from the couple that I see on Rotten Tomatoes. This is a film without any sort of purpose other than to get Yeoh back on the screen and hopefully suck in a few subscribers to Paramount Plus with the promise of more Trek. It's a promise the movie can't keep. Michelle Yeoh's megawatt charisma and some campy fun keep this from sinking into the depths of the very worst Star Trek, but there's not much else here to love. At best, it finds clever ways to tweak familiar Star Trek elements in service of fast-paced, action-packed espionage story. At worst, it comes off as a try-hard pretender full of stale quips and faux edgy characters. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. Oh, this doesn't sound good. Disability tropes strongly undercut Star Trek Section 31's inclusivity. What? I'm gonna be real with you. Inclusivity is never my top requirement for a good movie. But if you're gonna include someone that is disabled or of color or what have you, then do us all a huge favor and make them three-dimensional, legit characters and don't be disrespectful. And that's just irritating. Again, Michelle Yeoh was paid $12 million just for this. That's the entire budget of Godzilla -1. Oh my God. Wow, this bot is out of control, Backyard Targus. Maria says Dune franchise is better than Star Wars and Trek right now. I'm gonna live back in the world where Star Trek Picard season 3 has just come out. They only know how to disrespect things. This is disappointing. It's very disappointing. I'm very let down. I feel bad for that buddy of ours that's in it. That poor guy. It's a bummer. It's a bummer where you get a gig on a film or in a film, working on a film, and it turns out to be bad. It's like, yay, I want to tell people that I worked in movies. And I'm like, oh, but I don't want anyone to see this. There is one good review. One good review from friggin' Screen Rant. Of course. Star Trek Section 31 goes where no Star Trek has gone before with a fun sci-fi spy adventure led by Michelle Yeoh's Emperor Philippa Georgiou. That's all she said, and she gave it a 6 out of 10. I have a Rotten Tomatoes account, but I don't know how to set it up and stuff. It's really difficult. It's really difficult. Wow. So that's a bummer. I will be watching it today. Give you guys my opinion. Grace Randolph. I don't know if Grace reviewed this, but I do know that Rachel Hulshult from Screen Rant gave it its only good review. Yeah. So there's that. Oh, what do you guys think? Are you going to watch it? I'm going to watch it. I always form my own opinion. I always do. But what do you guys think? Tell me. Let's see. All right. Here's our meat and potatoes topic for the day. For our Friday, 2 whole days of no streams. How will I survive without you? So, we've been hearing this for some time, back and forth. Yeah, this software is really upsetting. Backyard Charter says pass because they haven't sold me on it. Loki says if I listen software, I'd eat an entire couch. Untamed Mando. I tried to, but there are some things I can't stop. Rings of Power, which got renewed. I'm very surprised. Maria says she's watching it. Kino says maybe. I'll definitely be watching it later if I can find it on my stuff. But we've been hearing a lot of stuff about Armor Wars. I used to be a contributor for comicbookmovie.com. That's crazy. That was a long time ago, though. We're talking like 15 years. Anyway, Armor Wars now is reportedly being completely reworked after negative response to Secret Invasion. Secret Invasion has been over for a while. A while. Like, how are you just now figuring this out, guys? Kino says a decade too late, Iron Wars should have happened before Endgame and Infinity War. Too true. Armor Wars went from being a TV series to a movie, but now appears to be stuck in limbo, aka production hell. Today, we have an update on the project and how the negative reaction to Secret Invasion may have changed things. We're closing in on 5 years since Armor Wars was first announced as a Disney Plus TV series. Yasir Lester was tapped as head writer in August 2021, but countless delays followed until in September 22. We learned it was being redeveloped as a movie. I do not want to, thank you. Since then, the project has seemingly fallen by the wayside, despite Spider Man No Way Home and Secret Invasion laying at least some of the groundwork for this continuation of War Machine's story. Today, we have an update from insider Daniel Reitman. He claims that Armor Wars is on hold, not canceled. Apparently, Marvel Studios is reworking the project following the Secret Invasion backlash, meaning Rhodey's story won't continue until after Secret Wars. Reitman also notes Armor Wars is also expected to focus on entirely different things than originally planned. Oh my God. So yeah, we'd bet on Marvel Studios dropping the idea of War Machine having been a Skrull since the events of Captain America Civil War. Fortunately, the way his return was handled when he was discovered in the Skrull base left enough ambiguity for Marvel Studios to easily move on from the idea. Oh my God. While War Machine is a popular character, there doesn't appear to be that much demand for this movie. Really? Yes, characters like Ironheart and Justin Hammer could be added to the mix, but if the massive success of Iron Man trilogy tells you anything, it's that filmgoers want Tony Stark. In a post-Secret Wars MCU, there's a chance we'll see Marvel Studios cast a new Iron Man, potentially making Armor Wars a far more exciting prospect. When Don Cheadle asked where things stand with Armor Wars last October, I think they mean when Don Cheadle was asked. That's what was tripping me up. I was like, what? He replied, "You can find out and let me know," and laughed. I don't know. I'm not sure where anything is right now. I think things are going through a lot of changes and we'll see what happens. We'll see what it is. Cheadle also addressed that big Skrull twist and seemed none too impressed. Uh, there was it wasn't a demand. It was a request, the actor explained. What do you think about playing this? And it was to set up stuff in the following thing. So if the following thing happens and all those things were set up, then that's one thing. If, as you said, it doesn't, then we can talk about how I feel about it after. I'm guessing he friggin' hated it. Armor Wars doesn't have a release date, as noted, likely won't happen until after Secret Wars, if indeed it does happen at all. So, I don't think it's happening. I don't think it's happening. Secret Invasion was absolutely, entirely trash. Hashtag justice for Maria Hill. Never forget. She was done so dirty. Kino, you can't have Armor Wars without Hammer. And wait for it, Oscorp. Yeah. This movie isn't going to happen. I can almost promise you. Yes, they said Rhodey has been a Skrull since Civil War. Yep. And apparently Don Cheadle. Yeah, stopped watching when they killed Maria Hill, and they did it so lame and disrespectful. She's been in it since the beginning. How dare they? Didn't even get a funeral. My gosh. But yeah, I don't think this is going to happen, personally. Man 2 will happen before this does. I know they're two totally different franchises, but Batman 2 has been in production hell for quite some time as well. Fernando, everyone I have spoken to is not feeling this project at all since it was first announced. We forget that it's happening. It's something Loki and I said to each other earlier. It's kind of like the Craven movie to me. I just keep forgetting that it's happening. I keep forgetting that it's there. Um, I don't. I yeah. This is this is it's like it's been sent to Florida. You know what I mean? Like that's where the elderly go before they die. Is Florida. This on hold rework stuff is where movies. So there was an ad that popped up on that page and it startled the crap out of me. It was playing music. But yeah, I don't think it's going to happen. I think they send it to Movie Florida. Kino, personally, it's too late if Disney Marvel movies forward with it without RDJ. It's DOA. My grandparents have lived in Florida since 1998. Look, I love Florida, but we all know it's the biggest retirement community in at least the United States. Um, yeah, this is bad news. I don't think it's happening. I think they're going to cancel it. I think they're just doing that hem hawing, not wanting to admit that, yeah, we don't want to be wrong or take back what we said, but yeah, we're not doing it. Armor Wars is getting the MCU Blade treatment. I think they're doing it worse than Blade. Because at least with Blade, you hear things happening. You don't hear anything about Armor Wars at all. At all. Loki. The whole point of Armor Wars was that other people were making suits with Stark Tech, and that ended after Extremis and Iron Man 3, sorry. It's a dead concept. It is. It doesn't need to be made. It's too late. Kino, bring back Terrence Howard as Rhodes, as the non-Skrull. That would be hilarious, but you know it's not going to happen. Not going to happen. Yeah, I think it's being treated worse than Blade. At least with Blade, you hear updates every once in a while. But this, you hear nothing, and now it's just, well, it's on hold right now. You know, we need to rework some things, and we want to give it the time it deserves, and we just don't have the time right now. Right now. That's what's happening. It's getting the Lucasfilm treatment. It's not going to happen. She gone. Say goodbye. Does anybody else know how to spell Skrull? Does nobody know how to spell Skrull? No. Who are you talking to? Who are you talking to, sir? Sometimes typos happen. Typos are real. And your phone will autocorrect that to Skrull. I promise you. Every time. Yeah. I don't know. What do you guys think? Yeah. I told you. Talk to text. He's working. Yeah, honey. It's just a typo. It's autocorrect typo. Ducking autocorrect. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's done. I think it's over with. I think Batman 2 isn't, I don't think that's coming out. Like Robert Pattinson, "Oh, I'm buffing up. I'm working out, getting ready." Getting ready. Well, he's going to be like the size of Alan Rickson by the time that movie comes out. I don't think it's happening. I just don't. I don't think that Matt Reeves and James Gunn see eye to eye. I don't think he wants to play ball with what James Gunn is doing, or vice versa. I don't think that's happening. And I think Armor Wars is just it was a bad idea to begin with. I think it's a bad idea to begin with. So I don't think it's happening. Oh well. Oh well. If you have any last minute comments, question, concerns, emotional outbursts, drop them in the chat. Because that's all I've got for you guys today. We'll be done for the weekend. I'll be back Monday morning. No streams for me weekend. I get a well-deserved break, I think. Kino, Batman 2 is DOA, Armor Wars is DOA, Blade is DOA, unless Snipes come back. I'm going to offer up an unpopular opinion. Wesley Snipes is so old. He is so old. If he does come back and do a Blade movie, I really hope it's a passing of the torch type thing, because he's looking old. He's looking old, and old people should be allowed to retire and enjoy their golden years. Emotional outburst. I will get back to you on that watch party, Kino. I have really stretched myself the last few weeks. And if I spread myself too thin, then I have like a mental shutdown and don't stream at all. So let me look, see what I got going on, and I'll be in touch with you. But I do want to watch that. I really, really do. Black Don't Crack, sweetheart. He still got it, of course, but he's getting the old man build. I mean, Black Don't Crack, but it does lose muscle mass with age. It does. Only saving grace is Fantastic Four and Secret Wars and Doom. Well, that sounds like a few saving graces to me. I am looking forward to all of those. Backyard TARDIS. When the Batman 2 comes out, Matt Reeves will be playing old Bruce in a Batman. Let's get it. We need a Batman Beyond movie. How many times have we said this? We need Michael Keaton to come back to play old man Bruce in a Batman Beyond movie. We need that. We need it. 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 Come off of there. But that's all I got for you guys today. Out for the weekend. I'm going to get some sleep. I'm going to clean my house, bake some bread, all that crazy stuff I do. I'll be on social media. So if you want to chat, hang out, come find me. Loki. Ironheart is still happening, which will further taint the brand. You said taint. I really didn't think Ironheart was going to come out, but here we are. My neck just popped. It felt amazing. But if you would do me a huge favor, if you want to help support the channel, please. The easiest and freest way to do so is by smashing that like button and subscribing if you're new, and ringing the notification bell so you get notified whenever I'm back with even more nerdy stuff. If you would like to support the channel in other ways, I have some amazing options for you, and there are so many options. First of all, it's this QR code right here. See that? Where did my link go? It'll take you to buymeacoffee.com/comicsandmua, and you can tip me as little or as much as you like. Your choice. It gives you an option to buy me a beer. I could use it to buy a coffee. I don't know. But all proceeds do go to keeping the channel going. Keeping the lights on is important. If you don't want to use Buy Me a Coffee, I do have Cash App. That's me right there. $ DanielleSoncasie. If you would like a little something for your financial support, we have a couple options. First is my comicsandcosmetics.etsy.com, my Etsy store. They are all designs created by yours truly. So I have designs for Dune, Superman, Wonder Woman, obviously, Skeleton Crew, lots of Star Wars stuff, lots of stuff with my dog. Like, I went through a period where I would Photoshop tiny and onto different movie posters. My favorite is Cheese Pup. So instead of Cocaine Bear, it's Cheese Pup. And like Reservoir Pups, him on the Reservoir Dogs poster. That's my backdrop, my wallpaper. Oh, my favorite though, I think, is it's Return of the Jedi, and I've put Tiny on Palpatine. But anyway, I have a merch store at comicsandcosmetics.etsy.com. And I also have a Patreon. I have 3 different tiers, starting as little as $3 a month. You get outtakes, some behind the scenes. You can join our Nerdling Army chat and ask me anything, and request breakdowns. It is the only place where I accept breakdown requests. And brand new, okay, so already you get merch for the first, or every 3 months for your first year as a member of the channel. Excuse me. But now it's 100% exclusive merch. You get your own rank insignia in the Nerdling Army, which I made yesterday. So if you want that exclusive Nerdling Army merch, then you have to join the Nerdling Army at patreon.com/comicsand. Very cool. I'm also sponsored by Apotheosis Comics and Lounge for all your comic, apparel, collectible, and game needs. Check out shopapotheosis.com/comics and use code comics and in checkout for 10% off. I'm also a member of the Red 5 Network, hashtag Red 5 Family. This podcast powered by the Red 5 Network. We are a family of podcasters and content creators, all nerdy, baby. Sci-fi, fantasy, comic book, Star Wars, Star Trek, you name it, we have it all. Just check out red5.bio.link for more Red 5 family stuff. All right, guys, thank you so much for coming today. I absolutely adore every single one of you. Thank you for all your love and support. It never goes unnoticed. It definitely makes my day. Thank you for starting every single day of the week with me. Like, I'm amazed that you want to, but it sets the tone for the rest of the day for me. I'm in a good mood as soon as I get off the stream. I just adore you guys. Thank you so much for everything. I will see you Monday morning. I'll see you Monday morning. Until then, be good and keep an eye out.
Disney and Kathleen Kennedy are gonna get you!